All right, it looks like our clock has rolled over to 9 p.m., so we can get started tonight. We've got just one break. It's a new release product. It is a half case of Mosaic basketball, which just came out today, hot off the presses. And we do have a little bit of information that we're going to go over before we get started ripping. So while everybody is getting in the room and getting settled here, I'm going to take care of that. We may have a couple of unpaid teams up for grabs. We'll check after we go over the information to see if they've been paid or if they're going to be up for grabs with you. So the first thing we're talking about there is a little note about feedback, and that is simply because I get asked this question a lot, right? So that's to let you know that my feedback is automated on eBay. What that means to you is that A, you're instantly going to get feedback for yourself when you post it for me. So you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to add a positive feedback score of your own, and there's no waiting. Haha, we love automation. At least I do. And of course, the other thing there is to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. And this is what it looks like in the days ahead, our breaks that are coming up. So tomorrow night is a case of game day greats. I'll get it out in a minute. Autographed football jerseys, and I think that that is the last of the jerseys that I have on hand, I think. Friday night is a new release night. We're going to start a little earlier than normal, 8:30 Eastern, which is going to be 5:30 Pacific time. It'll be a 6-box half case of Select Baseball and a 6-box half case of Bowman Baseball, the hobby version, and those are loose boxes from a shared case. Saturday and Sunday will both be off nights. On Monday night, we're going to come back and finish up the half case of Select that we start on Friday. We will finish on Monday. All right, so here's what you need to know shipping wise. You can expect this product to get out the door approximately Saturday. Now, as is always the case, if I can get something done sooner, I absolutely will. If something unexpected comes up or it takes longer to sort and prepare for shipment than I think it will, it could always slide a day later. So that is why it says plus or minus a day. But my estimation right now is that it will ship on Saturday. Lots of cards in this break. Every team is going to pull cards of some sort, so we do not need to worry about consolation cards. Now, normally we'd skip right on to our next page and get going, but I've got to check and see if our unpaid teams got paid or if our unpaid teams did not get paid, which they didn't. So looks like, guys, I have got a couple of teams available here. If anybody wants them, let me get in here and look at the details. They're both from the same person. And looks like the Boston Celtics are unpaid and available, and the Nuggets are unpaid and available. And preference would go to somebody who might want them both. And if nobody wants them both, then of course we can look at breaking them up and doing them one at a time. So the Celtics and the Nuggets are the two teams that I need to find a home for. Looks like the Celtics sold for, I think that says, I don't know what that says. I think it says $76 and some change. I couldn't tell if it was a 6 or an 8. And then the Nuggets sold for $51. If somebody wants them both, you know what? We'll package them up and do it for like $120, something like that. And Craig, you want them both? Okay, perfect. You're the first one in there that says you want them both, so they can be all yours, my friend. I am typing in here my email info. If you give me 1 second, I'll get that in. This is the email that I use for PayPal. Now, guys, I don't ever check correspondence here. So if you send me a message there, I'm literally never going to see it. But I'm too lazy to go back and change all the things that I have tied to that particular old school email. So, oh, Craig, I normally don't invoice you guys when we do them second chance here. Normally, you guys just go into PayPal and send it over while I'm doing the stuff here. But if you need me to invoice you for it that way, I can. But you'll need to send me your email that you use for PayPal. In the meantime, guys, give me a minute here, please. I've got to go in and clean this up on eBay, and I also need to fix the spreadsheet and all that fun stuff. So first things first, let me get it taken care of on eBay. So Craig, is that what you want me to do then? You want me to invoice you through PayPal? That's no problem. But if you would just please send me the email address that you use for PayPal, I can take care of it here in just a second after I get it all cleaned up on eBay and get the spreadsheet cleaned up and that kind of jazz. Alrighty, just takes 1 second here, please. It's going to be the Celtics and the Nuggets that are going to be moving over to you. All right, Celtics and the Nuggets. All right, you're cool doing it. You from your side, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. That does save me a minute here while I'm busy cleaning up the other stuff. That does help me out. I appreciate it. So if you would just give me the thumbs up, the high five, whatever you want to call it, just let me know there in chat once you have PayPal squared away, please. I would appreciate that very much. And I've got one more little thing to do on my side, and we'll be ready to go here in just a second. And there we go. All right. Okay, so we got that squared away. And oh, Charles, you were bidding on both those teams, and then you got outbid, and then the person didn't pay. That is, yeah, that's not fun. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, Craig, so we can do the pair for 120 is fine. That's a little bit of a discount over what they sold for on eBay, but that's cool. Since you're taking them both, it saves us from having to go through the trauma of selling it out twice. So 120 is fine for the pair on that. And, all right, I think I have our spreadsheet ready. I got eBay ready. So let's move on back into our spreadsheet again here. All right, so this is where we left off, and probably everybody heard me go over this a minute ago. If you didn't, Saturday's your anticipated shipping date. Could be a day earlier, could be a day later, which would, of course, be Monday in that instance, if it went a day later, since no mail on Sunday. But Saturday is what I'm thinking, and consolation cards we don't need to worry about. Everybody's going to pull cards in here, tons of cards in this break, probably close to 1,000, I would say. So this is a 6-box half case of 2019-20 Mosaic basketball. And this just came out today, so this is break number 1. This is a half case. These are loose boxes from a shared case, as was noted in the listing description. And it ended tonight on eBay the same night that we are breaking it, which is Wednesday night, the 20th of May. You will find your team names there on the left-hand side, and the eBay user ID of each winning bidder is up in lights cross from their team. You notice there are a couple of teams say second chance. That's because our original bidder did not pay for that, and we had Craig nice enough to pick it up for us via second chance here in chat. So that is how that looks. And Craig, I know you said you're in PayPal right now, so just let me know if you would please when you get your side squared away. And in the meantime, we can start getting all this stuff up here. And I do need to do one other thing, don't I? I got to change up the focus a little bit. Because if I don't, guess what's going to happen? The background's going to get all crazy. I mean, I need to move these for a second. It's going to get all nuts and try to zoom in and out and all that kind of stuff. Now I have to move those so that I can tell myself where I need to have it set. I know, right? I use that background. So that's why your background got blurry. But your cards, we're going to be able to see up nice and close and personal here in a moment. So we are looking for one autograph per box in here, but lots of parallels. If I remember correctly, I want to say there are like 5. There's the one autograph. I think there are 5 silvers per box, maybe 10 mosaics a box or something along those lines. It says at the bottom of the listing description, I think, but I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. And then there's a bunch of inserts too, aside from what we just talked about. I think there are another, like maybe 15 or 20 inserts per box. So lots to look at in here, that is for sure. And hopefully we won't have so long between basketball breaks the next time, because it has been a while, hasn't it? You know what? Let's just look through the first pack of this by itself first. Oh, well, wait a minute. We're waiting on the high five from Craig there. I forgot about that. So we'll wait for him to tell us that he is good to go, and then we'll get underway here. And there is a little bit of delay, by the way, in chat from the time you type it in till the time I see it. So my guess is Craig's probably already typed in there that he's got it done, and it just hadn't popped up on my side yet. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so what we will do, because there are so many parallels in here, and prisms and mosaics, or silvers, whatever you want to call them, mosaics, etc., we're probably just going to sleeve the lower numbered ones or your really high profile players as we go. Other stuff, of course, we'll deal with trying to sleeve a little bit later. All right, so our base cards, we'll just kind of buzz on through them like we normally do. We're not going to spend an inordinate amount of time on base. Now, of course, this is the mosaic pattern. This is the one where I believe we're going to find 10 or 15 of these a box, I believe. So there's our first one. As you can see, they're not numbered, but they are that exclusive pattern. Now, is this one going to be numbered? I guess no. I don't know why it looked like it should be numbered, but it did, didn't it? I mean, it looks like it should be, but I don't see any number on there. So we're going to, so far, not going to be numbered. And we're going to have lots of different inserts in here. I mentioned that earlier. There's a variety of inserts, and this one is called Stage Masters. And of course, it's just a plain one. It's not a prism or numbered or anything, that particular one. This one is an overdrive insert, and it, of course, is in the mosaic pattern. And that is the Trailblazers and Lillard. And then we've got a little more base. There's an NBA debut insert for the Bulls. And there's USA Basketball. Oh boy, now I didn't realize we had USA Basketball in here. So USA Basketball, this is going to be, if it is a current player, we know Magic Johnson is not, but for anyone who is a current player, it will go, an active player, I should say, it will go to their current team. If they are a retired player, then it's going to go to the team they played for the longest, which in the case of Magic Johnson, of course, would be the Lakers, but that's how that's going to work. Andrew, we do not have any unsold spots left. We did have, but Craig took care of both of them, picked them both up, and yeah, so we do not have any other unpaid, thanks to Craig jumping in there and helping us out tonight, which is much appreciated, by the way, Craig. Thank you. And then we have the Devin Booker Phoenix Suns mosaic. There's Tristan Thompson for the Cavaliers. There's more Stage Master. Don't think we've seen this one yet. International Men of Mastery as opposed to Mystery. A little play on words there. Tony Parker and the Spurs. So yet another insert set that we see. Hall of Fame with Pistol Pete Maravich on that one goes to the Atlanta Hawks. There's another NBA debut, that one, Jordan Poole. Cody's looking for the Phoenix Suns. Charles is hoping his Hornets come in tonight, so we'll have to be working on those. And then, of course, Craig picked up our unsold teams, so we know he's got some rooting interest in here, too. Our first silver prism of the night goes to, we'll just call these silvers maybe the rest of the way through, goes to the Phoenix Suns, as a matter of fact, and that is Ty Jerome for Phoenix. And these just look like they ought to be numbered. But they haven't been so far. Finally, one is that looks like it should be. So for the Bulls, we have a Kobe White that is numbered to 25 coming out in a Mosaic numbered card. First numbered one we've seen tonight. And Montage, that's an insert set that first time we've gotten a look at one of those. In It to Win It. This is another insert, the first one we've seen of. And that's Trae Young for the Hawks. And, of course, again, in that mosaic pattern, which we'll see a lot of. Dwayne Wade in his USA basketball uniform means he will go to the team he played for the longest, which I do believe is the Miami Heat. But I'll double check it, of course, before I send it out. Because Mr. D. Wade is retired. Cody, are you happy with the Kobe White one? Is that the one that you're happy about? Maybe. I think so. Yeah, I'm thinking it might be. Yeah, the 25 was a nice one for him. If we can find, maybe we can find a couple of 25s for a couple of other guys in here. Wouldn't that be nice? You know who I'm thinking about. We would definitely be happy finding that. A silver for the Phoenix Suns, Ty Jerome. So both of our silvers have been Phoenix, and they've both been Ty Jerome, albeit different. One the base card and one NBA debuts, but anyway. Anunoby for the Raptors, numbered to 99. Introductions. This is an insert set we have not yet seen until just now. PJ Washington for the Hornets. That looks like it should be numbered 2, doesn't it? Bradley Beal and the Wizards. And I guess it's not numbered either, but it sure looks like it should be. Doesn't it? I mean, they just do. And that one is called Center Stage, that insert, which I think is a hobby exclusive, if I remember correctly. Technically, the retail release of this is supposed to come out on Friday, like the fast break boxes and the, what am I trying to say, blasters and all that stuff. Although I think some stores might already have them out, maybe, but they're not technically supposed to come out till Friday. We have a redemption. I know, Cruel and Unusual Punishment. It stays face down until the end of the break, and then we flip it over, find out who is on the other side, and go to the Panini website and check it all out. So there's Denver Nuggets and a little Steph Curry for the Warriors. Another montage insert. It's the first time we've seen the Blue Chips insert. This particular one is Nola, but it's Jackson Hayes. And you were probably hoping to get Zion instead, but we got a long ways to go, so we'll probably find some of that. Hopefully, we'll find some Zion inserts before we get out of here tonight. The first silver we have that is not a Phoenix Sun, I believe. And that is Jaylen Brown headed to the Boston Celtics. Bradley Beal and the Wizards, a mosaic, an international man of mastery is Kristaps going to the Mavericks. There's Aru Hachimura introductions that is also a mosaic. I always have to think about these pattern names. There's a Patrick Ewing, of course, in his USA baseball uniform. So again, those guys that are retired are going to go to the teams they played for the longest. We'll use NBA.com to figure that out. If there's ever a question about where someone played the longest, that will answer it for us. Jordan Poole, NBA debut, mosaic insert, Warriors. Karis LeVert for the Nets, more blue chip inserts. And there's a little Luka, Mr. Luka Doncic, international man of mastery that is mosaic, but not numbered. Oh, nice Oscar Robertson. Cool. Hall of Fame, Oscar Robertson. And he is, you might note there, he is in a Royals uniform. So the former Cincinnati Royals, I believe, are the current Sacramento Kings. I always have to think about that. I will double check that, or if someone knows, you guys are welcome to jump in there and let us know if there is, if I'm wrong about that, but I will, of course, check that out. Yes, Charles, there was a base Zion that went by. It wasn't a silver, though. It was just a standard flat base. Yeah. But yes, there's a flat base in here of all kinds of guys, of course. But we're stopping on the patterned stuff, the inserts, the numbered stuff, not so much the regular base going through. So there's Cam Reddish for the Hawks, followed by Horton Tucker, the Lakers. Another little insert there for Luka, Stage Masters. And there's Kawhi and the Clippers. Basically, every pattern in here will be Mosaic. So if you see a pattern, you know it's Mosaic. Hence the name of the product, right? Exactly. A silver, Al Horford. And Al is headed to the 76ers. Right behind it is another 76er with Mr. Embiid. Montage insert, International Man of Mastery insert for Phoenix. A little more base going by. And Karl Malone, of course, in his USA basketball uniform. I believe Karl Malone played the longest for the Jazz, but again, I'll verify all that. DJ Augustin, silver, Orlando Magic. And a little Larry Bird. We know where he played the longest. That would be the Boston Celtics. And he is in his USA basketball uniform as well, but will go, as we said, to the Celtics. There's a montage for Embiid, a montage for Trae Young and the Hawks. All right, there goes box number 1 is in the books. So that's kind of what we have to look forward to here in the other 5 boxes of it. So pretty good number of inserts in there and a fair amount of silvers as well. I think we had 5 silvers altogether. A couple of numbered cards, a big stack of mosaics. I'd say at least 10 or 15 mosaics. There might have been more. Probably were more, but a pretty good little stack of them. And of course our one autograph that's sitting right there in the form of a redemption that we'll be flipping over at the very end of the night. In the meantime, it sits right up there in that housekeeping area, so you can keep your eye on it as we work through the night, and then we'll flip it over at the very back. Andrew, this was not, again, these are loose boxes from a shared case. They came to me as 6 loose boxes, so that's why I always make that special notation in the listing description on stuff like that, so you guys know when that's the case. So this one isn't actually the start of a new case. It is actually 6 loose boxes. That's how it came, how it arrived here to me. So, yeah, we don't unfortunately have the back half of this case. They didn't sell me but one half of it from this particular place. This product was exceedingly hard to get. It was going to be hard to get before, and then after everything shut down and all these guys, all these distributors or manufacturers are coming back and making shorter print runs, it's making stuff really hard to get. See Oklahoma City Thunder with a silver. And then a Brandon Ingram for NOLA. There's a montage Steph Curry. And a montage Blake Griffin for the Pistons on that one. USA Basketball Vince Carter. We'll go to the team he played for the longest. I should have made a separate bidding category for USA Basketball. Probably that would have been a lot easier, but I didn't really realize there were going to be quite so many of them in here as there are. A silver Montrezl Harrell for the Clippers. And then we have little Hamidou Diallo, Oklahoma City Thunder for Hammy. International Man of Mastery for the Kings. I think we know we don't have to turn some of these over. There's blue chips for the Hawks. I think we've figured out by now which ones are we need to check and which ones are not going to be numbered, haven't we? I think we have. We'll flip all the mosaic patterns though, just to be on the safe side. That is Will Barton for the Nuggets. Behind that, we've got a little Cody Zeller. That's out for the Hornets. More blue chip inserts. There's a Zion Introductions. Why can I not spit that out? And that one again is just a base insert. It's not it's not a silver. It's not numbered or anything like that. But you know what? Right now, that'll still bring some money. Even the base insert still brings somebody some money if you got Nola in here. Dylan Will. Hi, Dylan Will. What's happening tonight? Charles, I like the look of the cards this year, too. I agree with you. Mosaic has been, many of you probably know, it's had an interesting history. And let me think about this. 2015-16 season, was it? I think it was. Panini made a product called Replay. And it was basically buyback cards or cards that they had like left over that never got claimed in redemption or whatever. And they put them in one-touch cases and they repackaged them with a newly created base card. And they called the product Replay. And it was a very, very expensive product. And of course, as we are prone to do, we all order some when it comes out in pre-sale. This is Kendrick Nunn for the Miami Heat with a silver. And then Kemba Walker is numbered to 99 for the Boston Celtics. That's our first numbered we've seen in a little while. And there's another Kemba Walker for the Celtics on an insert. There's an In It to Win It Trae Young for the Hawks. So when they made this product Replay, this expensive product, and then it comes out, and as it turns out, well, it wasn't such a great product, and everybody was pretty mad because we paid a lot of money for it, and the cards in it just weren't very good. I mean, there were some that were, but there were a lot that weren't. And then the distributors were mad because they had a bunch of stock left, and nobody wanted to buy it because it wasn't very good. So Panini comes along and says, hey, we're going to fix this. We're going to make this new product called Mosaic. There is a Vince Carter, and he is once again in his Team USA uniform. Will go to the team he played for the longest. There's Otto Porter Jr. for the Bulls. Here's another USA basketball, Karl Malone. I think that he played the longest for the Jazz, but I will double check it, of course. Pistol Pete Maravich for the Atlanta Hawks. There's a montage insert. We've got a blue chip Zion for Nola. Now that's going to make you a little happier because that's in the mosaic pattern. So that's we're getting there for Nola. We're starting to move down the line. So yeah, so back to our other part of this, which is talking about the origins of Mosaic. So that's what they did. They came out and said, hey, everybody who bought or will buy a case of this Replay, we're going to give you this I don't remember if it was, I think it was it a box for box? I think it was. So you got like a case of Mosaic. So that's what it was the first year, and it didn't really have a lot of autographs. It was more about catching the patterns and things like that, and you'd find an autograph maybe once out of every 3, 4, 5 boxes, something like that. And then they made it again, but the next time they made it for an exclusive for their website when they brought it back. And I didn't even break it then. I didn't order it, or maybe I did. Maybe we broke like one case of it, but it wasn't much, whatever we did. And then it kind of went dormant again, and then lo and behold, they rolled it out this year as hobby. This is a Luka Samanic. I always butcher his last name. I know that shocks those of you who know me. That's sarcasm. And that was a silver Spurs. Yeah, I know. I always butcher the names. Well, look, Chicago Bulls, you've already got a Kobe White to 25, but you can keep on trucking. There's 1 to 49. Maybe we're going to pull you the rainbow before we get out of here tonight. Doncic, Man of Mastery. There's a Bradley Beal, Wizards, on center stage is that insert name. But so I hope they do keep this a hobby product like it is this year, because I kind of like it. I mean, it's Prism-ish without being Prism, but it's such a close cousin, and we still get the silvers in it. I'm kind of digging it. I like it. Jay Crowder is out for the Grizzlies with a silver. And behind that, a Blake Griffin Mosaic for the Pistons. Of course, you really never know what Panini's going to do on any given day, but we would like to think that maybe they will produce this again next year, perhaps in slightly larger numbers. Because it is, whew, it's like a bloodbath to try and get this right now. For the Charlotte Hornets, that is a Cody Martin silver Mosaic. That was a mouthful. JJ Redick, Nola. And there is a Nowitzki for the Mavericks. And a Dwayne Wade USA basketball. I started to say baseball. I'm so used to it being USA Baseball, because that's in a lot of products. Panini's always putting USA Baseball and stuff. Team USA, so, you know. This looks like our hit out of the second box. Remember, our first box hit is that redemption setting up there. This is headed to the Atlanta Hawks. It's the first autograph we're going to get a look at, and it is DeAndre Hunter. So there's the first live autograph we have. It's headed to the Atlanta Hawks. Spida, Donovan Mitchell for the Jazz. Nola, Alexander Walker. Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets. Followed by the Dame for the Blazers. And that wraps up box number 2. Andrew, you are looking for a Jordan Silver Mosaic 1/1 autograph. Dang, brother. If I can pull that for you, I think I should go out and play the lottery as well. Listen, I'm going to try, all right? I'm always going to try. We will call forth the mojo and see if we can make it happen, but that is a big ask. 1/1s, whew, those are tough, my friend. But we're definitely going to give it a go. Do our best. Maybe it's that redemption. Hey, we don't know who's under there. And since this just came out today, I really don't even know who the redemptions are in this product. So some of you who may have watched breaks earlier today, give us the 411. Who's been coming out for redemptions? Who have you guys been seeing? Maybe it'll give us a guess as to who could be waiting up there for us right now, perhaps. That would be nice. We've got a silver in my hand here, upside down though it may be. It is DeAndre Bembry. That is for the Hawks. With a little silver action. I meant to get us to the silver on that one and didn't quite get there. Magic Johnson silver, USA basketball team he played for the longest. The Lakers is where that one will go. This is an MVP James Harden. He is in a very colorful, fancy suit there, isn't he? And it is numbered to 99. I can't tell what's on there. I can't tell what that is on his suit. Like flowers or something, maybe? I don't know. I can't figure out what the pattern is. Probably wasn't flowers, but I don't know. Hassan Whiteside for the Trailblazers. And then we have Seth Curry for the Mavericks. And over here is Cam Reddish for the Hawks. Now, did we pull? No, we have one hiding. Little AD, man. Anthony Davis love coming out of there. And this is the... Is that the first one we've seen in that particular pattern, that kind of stained glass? I think it might be the first one we've seen like that. And it's headed to the Lakers, of course. There's another blue chip. And another Lillard. He seems to be plentiful in here with inserts so far. Giannis, the Greek Freak. And it seems like our USA basketball is about a handful of players. We've only seen, what, 4 or 5 different players in there. Andrew, there were 2 numbered Kobe Whites. One was to 49 and one was to 25. I think that's correct. Of course, we'll recap it at the end. But I know the first one was to 25. The second one was either to 49 or 99. But I think 49, but don't totally hold me to that. It could have been 99. Cody, hi Cody. You said KD has a redemption in here, and Romeo Langford are the 2 that you've seen so far. Okay. Well, that would give us a good start then, wouldn't it, if we ended up with either one of those. I'm just going to go ahead and take the base off all 3 of these stacks first, and then we can just go hits, hits, hits. Or rather, inserts. Some people consider inserts to be hits, some don't. So I'll just stick to calling them inserts. Kyle Guy, Kings. Ooh, a little NBA debut, Ja for the Grizzlies. Mosaic insert. All right, getting Grizzlies involved now. A silver Elfrid Payton. That one is for the Knicks. And then we have Delon Wright. That's the Dallas Mavericks. And hang on one second. I am trying to make sure I've got all these, all these base silvers. I'm trying to keep them stacked separately, and I think I had just stacked one in the wrong spot. Cam Johnson, Phoenix Suns. And there's Terrence Ross for the Magic. A montage mosaic of DeRozan for the Spurs. Then some more base. Embiid, Sixers. And more base. A little Rui Hachimura introductions insert. Blake Griffin, Pistons. And more base. Told you there was a lot of cards in here. I wasn't kidding. There's 150 cards per box. So does that make a 900 card break, I guess? Something like that. So don't you kind of wish, though, they'd say, hey, we're not going to give you any base, but we're just going to give you all inserts. I would like that very much if they would just give us all inserts. All silvers and mosaics and all that. Of course, then that would probably lower their value a little, so I guess we shouldn't hope for that. But it's the fact that they don't come out as often that makes them more special, isn't it? Mr. Willie Cauley-Stein, Golden State Warriors, silver on our next stack. And this one is headed to the Knicks. Marcus Morris. You probably saw this a minute ago. Our autograph hit. Told you Dame was in here a lot. So if you got the Trailblazers, how would you like to have a little Lillard autograph? That's what I'm talking about. That is nice. Mosaic autograph, Blazers, and Damian Lillard. Robinson for the Miami Heat. Harrison Barnes, Kings. Jordan Poole for the Golden State Warriors. We'll set him down and come back to him in a second. Because I believe that's going to be our pattern. We're going to have maybe one more. Well, no, maybe not one more. I thought maybe one more in each of those stacks, but maybe not. We'll look at all three of those again in a moment. Just wanted to finish up the base and then we'll pick these up. So the Sixers, you've got a Ben Simmons, Troy Brown Jr. for the Washington Wizards, and the T-Wolves bring us Jarrett Culver. Well, all right, let's just flip that around. Make that go a little better that way. Larry Markkinen, Bulls. Klay Thompson for the Golden State Warriors. An overdrive insert for the Raptors with Siakam. That's nice. Is that our first overdrive that we've seen? It might be our first overdrive we've seen tonight. I wouldn't swear to it, but maybe. There's another Zion. This one's the NBA debut version of his base. And, of course, before that, we saw the Rui Hachimura base that went by. Steph Curry in his USA basketball uniform obviously will end up going to the Warriors. Yeah, so I think this has a very Prism feel to it, you know? I mean, it is a close cousin of Prism, obviously. It's like Prism Junior. And I guess you're not going to really name a product Prism Junior, are you? So, so they name it after the pattern, and I'm okay with that. So the real thing will be, how do the values compare to the values of Prism? Once, you know, obviously when something first comes out, it's got one set of valuation, but we really won't be able to totally judge how the value is going to hold up for probably a season or two when we've looked back and say, hey, what does a Zion bring from that? So it'll take us a couple of years to know if it hangs in as well as Prism does, but I suspect it might. They're pretty nice cards anyway. So I would think we'd have a pretty good value marker on these. All right, we've got a Donovan Mitchell for the Jazz, followed by Seth Curry again for the Mavericks. Let's just go ahead and pull our blue chip out of there. That is R.J. Barrett for the Knicks. A silver, Devontae Graham, Hornets. And then we've got a Draymond Green Mosaic. A silver, Taco Fall. It's so funny to see him stand next to really anybody. Even other NBA players. I mean, the guy is so tall. It is crazy. Bogdanovich. That is numbered to 49. The low number of 49 for the Jazz. And then we've got an overdrive C.J. McCollum for the Blazers. So now we've at least seen a couple of overdrives for sure. Maybe more, but at least two. Another Zion base. We've had a few of those go through. And then, of course, we've got a little stack up there still waiting for us. I gotta grab it. Another one of those stained glass type deals. And this one is Steph Curry, headed to Golden State Warriors. And guys, some of this other stuff, of course, I will sleeve later after the break and get some of these other things taken care of then. If we literally stopped and sleeved every single thing as we went along that will ultimately be in a sleeve, it would add a tremendous amount of time to our night. So this way, we can do it a little more efficiently. All right, there is a Steven Adams for the Oklahoma City Thunder that is silver. For the Lakers, it is Dwight Howard. There's an introductions R.J. Barrett, an introductions P.J. Washington for the Hornets. And a little LeBron James as a Cavalier, by the way. You can see on there, MVPs as a Cavalier. So that one obviously will go to the Cavs as a result. Always going to go to the team on the card when it shows a team. And then, of course, if you didn't hear me say it earlier, all the USA basketball cards where they're not showing their team, if they're active players, will go to their current teams. If they're retired retired players, it will go to the team they played for the longest. Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors, and Brazatskis, I never get that right either. That is for the Knicks. Then there's the Greek Freak. We've got another center stage, Draymond Green and the Warriors. Followed by some silver. No, not silver, just regular base, sorry. We've got our hit coming, and it is headed to the New York Knicks. Traveling back in time a little bit, we've got some old school ink happening here. That is Walt Frazier coming out for the Knicks. The boxes left are these two in the back there, Andrew. So we've got to finish, of course, this box we're in. It's got a few more packs, and then we've got the two boxes sitting there in the back. Larry Nance Jr., Cavaliers. Patrick Ewing for the Knicks. And still a few more packs to look at here. A Grayson Allen silver. And that is the Memphis Grizzlies. And you've got Harrison Barnes, Sacramento Kings. A De'Aaron Fox, Kings montage. That is Mosaic. And Lil Shaq went by there. And it would have been nice if we'd had no redemptions, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you think, like, all these guys who haven't been able to go work out or go do their thing, that they would have just maybe signed their cards and sent them back? We would have had no redemptions. I was kind of hopeful of that, and then, of course, we saw one right away. So you knew that wasn't going to be the case, but it was nice to think about for a minute anyway. All right, there's Victor Oladipo for the Pacers. And Markieff Morris for the Pistons. We have a silver Allen Iverson for the Sixers. Blast from the past on that one, too. Pascal, numbered to 99. GSW. And there's a Ben Simmons, Man of Mastery. Got a blue chip, Ja Morant, just a base one, but nonetheless, for the Memphis Grizzlies. Introductions for Rui Hachimura. We see those fairly often coming out. Russell Westbrook, Rockets. Some base. Oh, there's another Zion NBA debut version. A Rui Hachimura base. And Semanich, followed by J.J. Redick. That goes to Nola. There's a blue chip Kobe White. Base blue chip. Luka Doncic, Mavericks. All right, there goes box number 4 in the books. Rolling upon box number 5 right now. Well, JM, we have quite a few of the Zion cards sleeved, as you saw, as we've gone along. So, as I mentioned before, we are sleeving all silver cards, all autographs, all numbered cards, certain base cards as we come across them, and then there will be a lot of other things sleeved after the break. So, we did talk about that up at the top, JM. You might not have been tuned in when we discussed it, but we did talk about that, and we do have a little stack over here of Zion and Ja Morant cards that are sleeved as we have gone along as well. So I think pretty much everybody sleeves their silver cards, but I'm sorry that that is troubling to you. All right, let's see what we have got out of this stack. It is a John Stockton for the Jazz. There is a silver George Hill for the Milwaukee Bucks, followed by a silver Julius Randle for the Knicks. And you've got a Derek White for the Spurs, a P.J. Washington, the Hornets, Kevin Durant on a USA Basketball, so again, will be the team he played for the longest, according to NBA.com. When we go look it up, that'll be where we find that information. For anybody who is curious where it comes from, that's where we do it, at NBA.com. And there's a Karl Anthony Towns mosaic. And some base coming through. A mosaic for the Nets. That is Kyrie Irving. There is another Zion base. Yes, we will recap the hits at the end for sure. We will always recap the hits at the end. The numbered cards and the autographs, and in this case, the silvers, which we also recap in Prism. A lot of people chase the silvers in these kinds of products, so we always include them in the recaps. That is Karl Malone for the Jazz. A little Taco Fall, that's numbered to 49. It's headed to the Boston Celtics. There's an Introductions R.J. Barrett, and In It to Win It for the Lakers with my man A.D., Mr. Anthony Davis in the house. Lou Williams for the Clippers. Followed by a little Steven Adams for the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's a blue chip Kobe White and a center stage Kemba Walker for the Celtics. Our autograph is out for the Spurs, and that is Samanic. So Luka and the Spurs. There's Thibault for the 76ers, followed by Andrew Wiggins and the T-Wolves. A montage that is Doncic for the Mavericks. And we still have a few packs left to finish up this box. Even though we've seen our autograph, we might still have some fun stuff in here, hopefully. De'Aaron Fox for the Sacramento Kings. Next out is Rashawn Holmes. That's also the Kings. Kings are on a little bit of a roll there, aren't they? The Blazers, and on the back of Trae Young for the Hawks. Because I thought that was going to be numbered, but it turns out it wasn't. So I thought it was, but I was incorrect about that. And of course, as we find with our Prism cards, these do tend to have a tiny little bit of curvature on them once they come out of the compression of the pack. So of course, anything that is a top loader, when you receive it, is going to be pretty flattened out. But some of the other cards do tend to have a little curvature until they get into a top loader or something. I'm talking about your base cards, of course. Say Trae Young Silver for the Atlanta Hawks. Larry Nance Jr. for the Cavaliers. I would say most of you are probably familiar with that. You guys have probably broken Prism or a similar product before, so you know what I'm talking about when they get that coating that's on them. It gives them just that little bit of curvature coming out of the pack. There's Malcolm Brogdon for the Pacers. And then you have Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. There's another blue chip R.J. Barrett. We've seen quite a number of those. Introductions, P.J. Washington, numbered to 25 for the Charlotte Hornets. A Danny Green Silver. And that goes to the Lakers. And there's Baisley for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Followed by Trae Young. And the Hawks, of course, there's a Rui Hachimura. Kevin Porter Jr., both base. And that brings us to the last box. So it's time for a little last box mojo here with Mosaic, where we hope that we can bring some fire, bring a little heat out of the last box. And then, of course, we do still have that redemption right there that will be flipping over at the very end as well. So that redemption will bring happiness to somebody, even after we get done looking at everything else. We'll still have a little hope to hit something, depending on who's on the other side of that. Might work out well for you at the end. A Jason Tatum Mosaic for the Celtics. Wendell Carter Jr. for the Bulls. An International Mutombo for the Sixers. Giannis, the Greek Freak, center stage for the Bucks. And our autograph is more throwback ink. We found it early this time, too. It is Allen Iverson for the Sixers, except I'm wrong. Ooh, usually when they're facing around, it's the autograph. It wasn't that time. It's a silver Allen Iverson. So it wasn't our autograph after all. False alarm. Rudy Gobert for the Jazz. A blue chip there for the Cavs. Introductions for the Hawks. Kenrich Williams, that's Nola. Simons for the Blazers. There's Embiid for the Sixers, a blue chip Culver for the T-Wolves. And here is our autograph out of the last box, and boy, was it worth waiting for. You know, my instincts would be to immediately put this in a one-touch, but I do know there are some people who do not like cards with this kind of surface in a one-touch. So if you have the Grizzlies and you're watching right now and you want this in a one-touch, just jump in here to chat and let me know. Otherwise, obviously, we'll top-load it like we normally would, but depends on, I've never had a problem with the one touch and a surface, a shiny prism type surface, but some people report they have, so it'll be up to the buyer on that one. But there it is. That is Last Box Mojo at work for you. Ja Morant autograph for the Memphis Grizzlies, the last one we see tonight, and that is worth waiting for. But we do have the redemption, so it's not the last autograph of the night. It's the last one we're going to see live. And then right behind it, look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Immediately behind the Ja Morant, we have ourselves a Zion Williamson silver mosaic. Sweet, sweet, sweet little deal right there for Nola. Ben Simmons for the Sixers. There's a montage. The Rockets and Hakeem Olajuwon. If you were in a hobby shop and you pulled that pack, you would be really happy. You would be really happy with the Ja Morant autograph and then the Zion variation. That would have been a heck of a pack for somebody to pull at a hobby shop, wouldn't it? Patty Mills, Spurs. And Jordan Poole, that is for the Warriors. In it to win it, Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz. A silver Alec Burke, and that's for the Golden State Warriors. Our Klay Thompson, also Golden State Warriors. The Wizards and Bradley Beal. That was another Ja Morant base that went by there for the Grizzlies. Still got a few packs left up there. Might be holding something interesting for us. Chris, is that yours? Is that Ja Morant yours? If you want that in a one-touch case, if the team is yours, jump into chat and let me know, and I'll gladly put it in that case for you at the end here after we look at the rest of this stuff. I've got no problem doing that at all. I'd be happy to. But as I said, I know some people, they don't like having cards with the this kind of surface in a one-touch, so it's entirely up to you. But if that is your team and you want it, please jump in there and let me know. Isaiah Thomas for the Washington Wizards. And there's Jarrett Culver for the T-Wolves. Base montage Kemba Walker. There's Stage Masters Mitchell for the Jazz. Next up, a silver. Troy Brown Jr., Washington Wizards. Jeremy Grant, that is for, who is Jeremy Grant for? I started to say the Nuggets. Oh, that is right. He is the Nuggets. And right as I was getting ready to say it, I'm thinking, no, is that right? Steph Curry and the Warriors. And LeBron again as the Cavaliers on that card. So that's where he will go, to Cleveland. Well, Chris, I would happily put it in a one-touch. I mean, I sent a Bowman Chrome card in a one-touch with the buyer's permission, of course, that, you know, he sold for just under $100,000. And he got it graded, and it graded a 9.5, the only defect on centering. I mean, it was perfect surface grade of 10. And I have no problem at all shipping them in a one-touch, but there are other people who absolutely, like, do not want cards with this type surface in a one-touch. So that's why I wanted to ask you. There's Chris Middleton. That is a silver prism for the Bucks. So it's really, yeah, I mean, it's your call on it. You just tell me what way you want to go. I personally have never had any issues using a one-touch with this type surface, but there are people that swear that they have. So that is numbered to 99, Brandon Clark for the Memphis Grizzlies. So I can't speak to the experience of those who have had an issue with it, because I never have. DeMar DeRozan and the Spurs. But theoretically, I guess it's possible. An NBA debut for Zion. Next up, a little Kyle Kuzma. Haven't seen him in a while. That is a silver for the Lakers. This ought to be numbered. It is LaMarcus Aldridge, and it is numbered to 49 with the Spurs. Overdrive, 76ers, Ben Simmons. All right, that's the last of what we have live, but we've got a little redemption to flip over. So, and then we're going to be recapping our autographs, our numbered cards, and our straight silver base, which is not all necessarily of the Prism Mosaics, but just rather the straight silver, non-patterned straight silver we'll recap as well. Okay. So, let's check it out. It is Romeo Langford. Well, how about that? That ends up making your pickup worthwhile, doesn't it? So, there's that again. We're going to roll over here to the Panini website and check it out. We'll find out what, if anything, it's numbered to. If it's numbered, it should tell us on here. So, our card set for this is just Rookie Autographs Mosaic. Rookie Autographs Mosaic. All right, so it means probably going to be open edition unnumbered. It is card number 17 for Romeo Langford. And there you see him. He is, of course, the Celtics, as we already knew, and he is an open edition unnumbered card. But now that makes it all nice and official-like that he's a Celtic. And Chris, you're okay with putting it in a one-touch. Fantastic. I'm going to grab that and do that right now. Before we recap, we'll take care of that. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that one, Chris. I've never had any problems with that either, but as I said, there are some people who swear by the fact that if a, I don't know, that somehow a speck of dust gets in there and destroys the card. I've never seen that, but hey, anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. All right, so let's just get your man in here, and then I will feel happier, and he will be safer, and we'll all be ready to go. All right, so we'll start our recap there. We'll do our autographs first tonight with the one that's in my hand. Just went into his nice little safe and secure one-touch home, and that is Ja Morant for the Grizzlies. And we have the redemption, of course, which is headed to the Celtics. That is Romeo Langford. It is an open edition, unnumbered, according to the Panini website that we just checked. And then you have Samanic that came out for the Spurs. Some throwback ink there. Walt Frazier came out for the Knicks. Then you have a nice one for the Trailblazers with the Dame. Mr. Lillard signed that one for you. And then DeAndre Hunter for the Atlanta Hawks. Those are our autographs for the night. Our numbered cards that do not have autographs attached to them. I think I got them all stacked off separately here. And it is LaMarcus Aldridge, numbered to 49 for the Spurs. And then we have Memphis Grizzlies to 99 with the Brandon Clark. For the Hornets, P.J. Washington to 25. Taco Fall and the Celtics to 49. Golden State Warriors, Pascal to 99. And then we have Bogdanovich to 49 for the Jazz. James Harden and the Rockets, numbered to 99. One of our numbered Kobe Whites. This one is to 49. That's headed to the Bulls. Next up, it is Kemba Walker to 99 for the Celtics. Then you have Anunoby for the Raptors. That is also numbered to 99. And then this little fella here, Kobe White to 25 for the Bulls. That is the first numbered Kobe White that we saw tonight, as a matter of fact. The first numbered card we saw at all tonight was that Kobe White to 25. Now, here are your straight silver prisms. So not the ones with the mosaic pattern. Those are stacked separately. These are just your straight silvers. And as we always do, we'll recap them just like we do in Prism because, again, I think this is kind of the close cousin of Prism. And we recap our silvers there, so we'll recap them here tonight too. And then, of course, there were a number of other variations that we saw go by that are in the mosaic pattern, and many of those will be sleeved and or top-loaded before they head out the door and on the way to you. But in the essence of not having to stop every 5 seconds, we didn't sleeve them live on all those mosaics. But, of course, we will take care of the ones that need to be handled. And even though this guy technically isn't the straight silver, it's a pretty cool little hit there, so we'll take another look at him anyway. He is a silver prism mosaic pattern Zion for Nola, which is a nice little hit too, by the way. All right, so that has us all taken care of for tonight. And what I am going to do is put up a spreadsheet information for you again, if you missed it before. Yeah, Andrew, I am aware of people who request to have some people request to have a sleeve put in the one touch with the card. Personally, I never do that unless somebody asks for it, because in my opinion, that's just asking for trouble. That's putting an extra thing in there, taking up space that is not meant to have anything in it. To me, that's what would rub on the card and potentially cause friction or problems. So I personally don't do that unless somebody asks for it. And if somebody asks for it, then fine. But again, you know, I mean, I shipped a $100,000 card in a one-touch just the way that one went in for Ja Morant and graded a, you know, perfect Surface 10 when the guy received it and took it in for grading. So I'm not one who thinks all that extra stuff is necessary, but that's why I leave it up to the buyers. And however a buyer tells me to do it, I do it. And Chris said he was good to go on the one-touch, so that's what we did with that one tonight. All right, so you can expect these cards to ship out the door and on the way to you approximately Saturday. And as always, if there is an opportunity to get it out to you faster than that, if I can get it done faster than that, of course, I'm happily going to do that for you. And if something unexpected happens or it takes longer to sort than I've allowed and expect it to take, it could always slide to, you know, the following day, which in that case would be Monday. but I am hopeful that it can be on the road to you approximately Saturday. Now, everyone hit cards in here, so we don't have to worry about consolation cards. Every team is going to have a nice thick little package of cards for their team, so we should be good to go there. Here's what it looks like in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, it's a case of TriStar Game Day Greats autographed football jerseys. It's a full case break, and that is the last of the football jerseys that I have, I believe. Sometimes we find stuff when I'm cleaning things around, but cleaning things up rather than it's laying around, but I think that's it. On Friday, we have 2 new releases coming. We're going to start a little bit earlier than normal at 8:30 Eastern, which is 5:30 Pacific. We'll be opening a half case of Select Baseball and a half case of Bowman Baseball. Our half case of Select will be the start of a new case, and our half case of Bowman will be loose boxes from a shared case. Both Saturday night and Sunday night are off nights. We'll come back on Monday night and we'll finish up that case of Select Baseball that we start on Friday. We will actually finish up on Monday. And so I guess that has got us wrapped up for tonight. As always, I thank you for being here, spending some time with me. I hope that I'll see you again somewhere along the way. You can always stop by and hang out, whether you're in the break or not. I enjoy having the company. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask and all that fun stuff. And we will be back at it tomorrow night, and we'll see you then. Thanks again. Bye now.